I have a confession to make. This is not my first attempt at creating content. I actually started 2 years ago, back in 2023. Let me give you a little backstory. I've always been a creative person, yes. I remember my 7th birthday, my parents gifted me this book and journal set, and I think that was what prompted my foray into writing, and I've been writing for years, literally years. As I kept growing, I delved into so many arts: beadmaking, music, painting, drawing, crocheting. I have done literally everything. So I've always wanted to do something creative. It has been me right from the onset. But then life happened, and then I found myself in the science department. And my parents were like, oh no, you have to focus, you can't do 2 things at once. Focus on your science. When you've studied and you're okay, then if you want to go into art, you can always go back into art. You know, science is very good. If you do science, it's always easy for you to study art. But if you do art, for you to go to science, you'll be confused. So I dropped almost all my creative hobbies and I focused on my books. So after I graduated secondary school, once in a while, you know, I'll see something on the internet that will remind me of one of the hobbies I used to do, and I'm like, oh no, I want to do this. But then ultimately it all get buried under the workload of being a science student. And especially as I studied engineering, I will always start and then, or attempt to start, and then, you know, there's so many excuses. You know, I need to read, I need to do this, I need to do that. I found a creative outlet. I knew I had things to share with the world, but I wasn't sure of how I wanted to share it. My very first idea was YouTube, but then I was like, oh, YouTube, I'm going to have to sit down, record a video, I'm going to have to post my face, and it just didn't sit right with me at the time. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll start a podcast. But I started giving so many excuses. When will I record? When will I do this? I don't have a silent place to record. I don't have a mic. I don't know how to edit my recordings. Then I was like, okay, I'll start a blog. I tried to create a site on Wix. That site is still half created till today. I have it saved. It's one of my saved tabs on Chrome. If you check my Notion right now, my Notion is filled to the brim with ideas. I've scripted some, I have rough drafts of some, a lot of things that I have to share with the world. I eventually made my video in 2023. It's the very first video on my channel. You can go and check it out. I made that video in 2023. I filmed it, I edited it, I did all the cuts and all the everything, aesthetics. But I didn't do the background music. I had no intro, no outro, nothing. I didn't even complete video. You know, I kept postponing it, giving myself so many excuses. I always kept finding something wrong with it. Like there was always something wrong. 2024 rolled by. I was like, oh, I'm going to start my content creator journey this year. I was like, oh no, I do not have the time for content creation right now. I'm going to start when I graduate, come July 2024. I kept postponing it. Oh, 2025. I'll start my content creator journey in 2025. January 2025 came. I still had excuses for why I hadn't started my content creator journey. I had created no content. All my writings were there, sitting in my Notion, chilling. I stumbled across a YouTube video a few weeks back. It was a guy. He was like, God wants you to stop consuming and start creating. I was like, this was created for me. God has been telling me, create for the past how many years now? I've watched tons and tons of YouTube videos, TikTok videos on how to be a successful YouTuber. I kept giving myself excuses upon excuses upon excuses. But when I watched that video, I decided I was going to start immediately. Immediately, I started working on my intro, my outro on Canva. I finished my intro and outro. I was ready to start editing and doing the final touches for the video. Even though that video is incomplete, I did the final touches and I posted it. After I posted it, the relief that I felt was unmatched. I felt such immense relief wash all over me, and I just felt like I was doing something for once in that direction. Because at the end of the day, the video is just there sitting in my phone. You know, there's something my father always says. My father always says that excellence is doing better every day. When you improve on yourself every day, obviously you don't come out of the womb, for example, knowing how to walk. You learn it little by little. Maybe you crawl first, you start to learn how to stand by holding on to things, then before you know it, you can stand on your own. Before you start taking those baby steps, maybe you take one step and you fall, then another time you take 2 steps, you may fall again. But the most important thing is that you are making that effort. So excellence is adding value to your life every day. That's exactly how he puts it. That is what excellence is all about, and that's what being a success is. That's what living a successful life is. Recently I was reading this manpower study group, and there was this grandpa in the hospital hooked up to machines and tubes and everything, and he kept studying for his TOEFL. Then somehow the main character comes in and meets with the grandpa, and the grandpa was like, oh, help me score this test that I wrote. And he was like, oh grandpa, I'm so sorry, you had 5, you got 5 right. And grandpa was like, oh my god, I got 5 right. Yesterday I only got 4 right, and tomorrow I'll get 6 right. And that is what excellence is all about. It's not until you have $5,000 just sitting and chilling in your bank account that you're a success. No, improving yourself every day is what brings about excellence. Little micro improvements, they add up. Every once in a while I like to do a little reflection on how far I've come in life, you know, the current level I am and where I'm from. I always pick some certain milestones in my life as reference points, and I look back and I'm like, oh, okay, what is the difference between me then and me now? And those little micro improvements, they are so visible then. So the most important thing about excellence is you being able to improve on yourself every day. You've been able to apply the knowledge that you receive, because at the end of the day, everybody receives an education. Unless you're just chilling and lying on the floor doing nothing, everybody receives an education. Okay, formal, informal. Even if the person is a tout on the streets, that person received it. Do you think that those touts just wake up and, you know, start acting all raz and stuff? No, they were taught informally. It's an education. It's important for you to be able to apply that knowledge that you've received in your everyday life. You need to be able to apply that knowledge to improve on yourself, and that is the whole premise of excellence. Another statement that my dad makes concerning excellence is that you exude excellence because you were born that way. You were not born to just sit and do nothing. Nobody was born that way, to just sit and do nothing. Now there's something I say very often to my friends, and I always tell them, why are you so bothered about another person's opinion? Does it make your hair grow longer? No. Does it clear out your skin? No. Does it make you grow shorter? No. Does it put money in your bank account? No. So why are you bothered? You see, all these things, they don't matter in the grand scheme of life. They don't matter. If you look at it, Your life, you have so much potential, so many things that you're supposed to do with your life. Don't let them be influenced by other people's opinions about you, because at the end of the day, those opinions have no ground. They have no leg to stand on when your life and what you have to do for yourself is concerned. So you need to take that first step. I'm telling you this because I also suffered from decision paralysis. You need to take that first step in your life. I was so bothered about, oh, what are people going to think? You know, how am I going to promote it? What if I get 0 views? At the end of the day, you do what you want to do what you're supposed to do what you're called to do. Okay? Chase your passions, follow your dreams, do the things that you are supposed to do. Don't worry about what they think. Everybody has their own opinion. Yes, even you. Look at successful people today. They have haters. Of course, in as much as they have a lot of people that love them and support them, they still have a lot of haters. Okay? At least one. At the very least, one hater. So, if somebody that's so successful has people that don't like them, how much more you're just starting out. Obviously you're going to have a lot of people that don't like you, that feel like, oh, you're cringe, you're this, you're that. You'll be cringe now, but by the time those little steps that you're making, by the time those little drops of yours become an ocean, you won't be cringe anymore. You won't be cringe anymore. So make those little drops today, take those steps today, and I'll see you in my next video.